Hello, Lamai. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Lamai? Hello. Right. Uh, yes. First of all, we want to talk something. Are you really in the need of a paper class right now? ඔයාලට තාම වේලාසන වැඩි වගේ නම් අපි පස්සේ පටන් ගමු. What do you suggest? Do you need to have it right now or later? ඔයාලට ඕන විදියට කරමු ඒක අවුලක් නැහැ. Quickly tell me, Lamai. Okay. Have a good look at here. In a paper, you know that you will get some 50 MCQs. 50 MCQs. Actually, the IQ less guys, ඒ කියන්නේ පොඩ්ඩක් මොලේ අඩුවෙන් පිටලා තියෙන සෙට් එක හරි කැමති MCQ වලට අනාසොට් ටිකක් ගහන්න පුළුවන්. But someone who works really hard, who have to be really afraid of this one, because if you don't have a proper practice, proper time management, you will get very low marks for MCQs. Because in MCQs there are trapdoors. Trapdoors කියන්නේ උගුල්ලට වල තියෙන. In the trapdoors you see this in the middle step you see that as the answer. In the exam stress and the panic and everything, you will see that answer as the savior. Actually that's the trapdoor. And some other methods you may take like 5 minutes to solve the question in the regular method, but there are some exam strategies, exam tips. You can solve the question by just looking at it. Because මෙහෙම බැලුවා උත්තරේ ගැහුවා. There are techniques. Oh, and there are some other techniques. You can just like to be pen strikes and get it. Very rarely there are real calculations and obtain it, real drawings and obtain it. Otherwise, out of that 40 out of 50, you can actually do with very minimum paperwork. අකුරු 3-4කට වඩා ලියන්න නැතුව කරන්න පුළුවන්. Sorry, වචන 3-4කට වඩා. There are very minimum work. And only like 10 you will have to do like actual work. And out of this 40 even, there are some other things, more like 20 to 25 questions you can do actually within like 40 seconds. Below 40 seconds, there are some other questions you can do within 20 to 30 seconds. That's the one we have to step ourselves up. අපිට පුළුවන් වෙනවා අපි පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න තැනින් අන්න අතෙන්ද ගන්න. ඒ දේ කරගන්න ඕනේද ඔයාලට? Do you really want me to do that? සද්ද නැහැනේ මෙයාලා කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ. Introvert කලින් මම අමතක වෙනවනේ. If yes, that means you have to manage all of these. හරි නේද? මේ කියන දේවල් ටික කරන්න ඕන MCQs. That's why I included 15 MCQs. Really exam like it MCQs. In the past few weeks, I included more like what? Random questions, 2 hard ones, 2 easy ones. Today I decided to give you like real exam type MCQs, 15 MCQs, like one essay, sorry, one structure, and one essay you can only do half. There's another one essay you can completely do. Okay, we have a very limited time. I think we'd better start the paper right now, and the discussion we can do sooner. Harne, Are you ready for the paper? Say yes. If you are yes, ready. Let's start quickly. Let me know whether am I audible in this device because I changed it to the other device now quickly. Let me know, please. Lamai, let's start to do the first 10 questions. And I will give you the time period. Give me a 1 second. Uh, uh, right, Lamai. I have arranged all the 10 questions right now in the order. For one MCQ, the real allocated time is like 2 minutes and somewhere like 15 seconds. But it is too big because there are some MCQs you can manage with like your level 50 seconds. There are some other questions, it may take like 3 minutes. Altogether, I will get like mean average and you to give you like a proper practice. Altogether, I would like to give you maximum of 15 minutes to do all these 10 MCQs. Okay. Your time allocation is going to be like 15 minutes. Hello, Sirli Ananda. Hello, can you hear me? I think you are the only new one here today. Sirli Ananda. Hello, can you hear? If you can't speak, at least text me. Sirli Ananda, can you speak up? Lamaya. Hello, if you can't speak, at least text. Okay, I am going to turn on the timer because he seemed to be like a introvert. Who knows? But a very introvert dial had to be. Let's start the timer. I'm starting timer. Be genuine to yourself. Stop all the workings now. Be genuine to yourself. Stop all the working. Hello, Lamai. I think today is the only day we did like with the exact pressure. So how did you handle the pressure? How did you feel that? How did you feel that? What the exam pressure? Lamai? Hello guys, let me know that. How did you really feel that? Huh? Lamai? මෙයාලා කතා කරන්නේ නැහැ නේ මම බුදුම ළමයි ඉන්නේ. Okay. Right. As I told you, there are few MCQs. There are few MCQs. You have to deal with 50 MCQs in a day. We can't discuss 50 MCQs at all. It will take at least like 4 hours to discuss all 50 MCQs. So for these 10 MCQs, there are certain real like 4 to 5 MCQs. You can get the answer within like 20 to 30 seconds. There are like 20 to 30 seconds. While there are some other questions, like 2 to 3 questions, you could easily do like below 1 minute. And there are only like 1 to 2 questions, you may take more than 2 minutes in your practice, your level. Got it? But you have to be mastered in what? Exam tricks. There are some tricks. You can easily get answers within few seconds. These are the area you have to be more careful about. If you master in those areas, you can easily score like 40, well over 45 in the exam MCQ paper. If you get 50, you get 50% of the total mark. If you get 45, because for one MCQ, which carry 1 mark each. So if you score well over 45, you need only 30 marks from structured and essay. And let you know, I will tell you one thing. In the structure, you have ready-made 20 marks in the structure, because you know that I do all the practicals here. Even in the last week in the theory class, we did practicals. So I make you sure you achieve all the good results in the structure. Actually, this whole 20 you can score, but if you make like silly instant mistakes, you can at least score well over 18 out of 20. Now, what is your total? Huh? It is going to be 63. Now you have 30 marks reserved. Out of that 30, you will only need 12 to get. Am I muted? Was muted all along? Mama, Lamai, was I muted all the time? Lamai. Ah, right. So you have well deserved. So there are like another but 8 marks. If you get only 10 out of it, like 8 wrong, you still get what? 85 marks. So this is how you have to score. I will make sure to score more for the essay questions. Now, we go into the MCQ paper and see how your proficiency with those MCQs. Okay. Give me a 1 second for that transition. Right? So that transition, give me 1 second. Omega. By the way, Surly, are you a boy or girl? Surly, we can use for girl as well as a boy. I don't know whether you are a boy or girl. Surly, hi. Hari, මම ආයි කතා කරන්නේ. Girl, okay. Can't you speak a bit? කතා කරන්න අමාරුයිද? Mic වැඩ කරන්නේ නැද්ද? බොරු කියන්න එපායි. Surly. Okay. Introvert දන්නේ. If you are an introvert, be an introvert, no problem. Okay. Let's go for that board and discuss the entire paper. Hi, Lamai. Hello, guys. Let's see how to score. Firstly, I will explain everything in detail. Then I will tell you how to score within the exam tricks. Right? Firstly, I will explain in the regular manner. Then I will tell you with the exam tricks. Okay, here. What is the reading out of the following? Can't taken using meter ruler, traveling microscope, vernier caliper, micrometer screw gauge, or speedometer. Okay. In a speedometer, any of these can't. So none of these can't, because in the speedometer it is given in meters per second or kilometers per hours, not centimeters. So speedometer we can. So for meter ruler, the reading should be ended up with millimeters. That means 0.0, this first decimal point of centimeter scale. So there is no such answer. Everything. So you can take this reading using meter ruler. So it is not an answer. Can't be taken. In the next one, traveling microscope. You know that traveling microscope, the meter reading is going to go for third decimal point. In traveling microscope, are there any third decimal point ones? Yes. Third decimal point. Third decimal point. This one can be measured by what? Screw gauge as well as traveling microscope. Both. Now in the next one, what? Vernier caliper. Vernier caliper goes for the second decimal point of the centimeter scale. This one can also be done in vernier caliper, but 0.12 millimeter, it is in the second decimal point, can be used in the vernier scale one, but there is a one problem. What? We can't take anything lower than 1 millimeter, even in the microscope gauge or anything. So the answer is going to be this one. Right? That is how we obtain the answer in detail. But here, this is an MCQ. No? If you have a proper eye, you firstly have to go for your margin. 10 centimeter, 1 centimeter, and 1 millimeter. These are the margins. 10 centimeter for the meter ruler. This is for the vernier. This is for the screw gauge. If something below than 1 millimeter, that should be the answer you can't take with any of these instruments. Right? You can't take the answer using any of these instruments. Did you get the answer, Lamai? This is what the MCQ technique. You should just let your mind to read very fast. Anything lower than the margin, you can't. If you are comparing all of these, it will take at least like 2 minutes. It is waste to spend such a long time. So you could have done this one within like 25 seconds maximum. The next one, the kinetic energy of a mass 1 kilogram is 1 joule. The velocity is nearly, we know that one thing. I will tell you the secret way as well. Half mv square is the real answer. So now I'm going to substitute. V is going to be equal to 2e over m. So let's substitute here. 2 and E is like the energy 1 joule over 1 meter. Sorry. Then velocity is going to be the square root of this one. So it is like root 2. Okay. It is root 2. So, by the way, root 2 means something should be bigger than. So if you are going to find the root 2, you should actually remember root 2 means 1.41. If you don't remember, so it shouldn't be this one. It cannot be this small. This small cannot be. Cannot be 1. The square of 1 is just still 1. Cannot be 2. The answer is this one. Right? You don't want to find out the stuff in there. That means the root. See? Something below 2 definitely, something above 1 definitely. Only one answer there. That is this one. Understood? Actually, these won't take, this one will only take like maximum 30 seconds. Right. In the next one, the amount of work done when 50 kilogram mass is kept 2 meters above the ground is. It is MGH name. MGH. Don't write the equations for MCQs, but for your explanation, I'm using. So 50 times 10 times 2. 100, 1000 nearly. Okay. So which one? Definitely not these ones. So answer is this one. If we take the gravity as 10. So definitely not this one. 9.81 if you use, it's going to be 980 something. This is the answer. Consider the following statement. First one, units and dimension of power is what? kg ms minus 3. Definitely no. Power is what? Power is what? If you have forgotten. Work done over time. What is work done? Force into distance over time. What is force? kg ms minus 2 times m over s. So what is it then? kg m square s minus 2. right? Kg m square is minus 2, definitely units and dimension of power, it is not this one. Coefficient of friction is a dimensionless quantity. Yes, definitely. What is the coefficient of friction? Frictional force equals to mu r. So what is r? R equals to frictional force over this one. Both represent Newton. This one also Newton. Newton and Newton cancel off. So the mu frictional coefficient is dimensionless. This second part is absolutely correct. Second part is what? Absolutely correct. Now in the third one, dimensions of upthrust. It is a force. You should remember this. A level Why? Force is kg ms minus 2 කියන එක මතක නැත්තම් ml t minus 2 කියන එක මතක නැත්තම් ඇත්තමයි A level කරන එක නවතුරක මතක. force වල මතක නැත්තම්. හැබැයි upthrust කියන්නේ force එකක් කියලා සමහරව දන්නේවත් නැතිවදී තමයි. So upthrust is a force. So it is yes. So what are the correct statements? Only B and C are correct. Okay. Did you get the same answer? Very good. By the way, I know about every other stuff. හැමෝම ගැන මම දන්නවා. Only one I don't know is Surly. Surly, what is the last lesson you have covered in your theory class? You are only coming for my paper class only. What is your current lesson you are having in your theory class? Current theory class? Surly, can you text, please? Hydrostatics. Hydrostatics. So, and have you covered circular motion, rotational motion, these things in your class, in your current class? Circular motion and rotational motion, those things. Completed. Very good. Rotational motion. Then good. And still doing hydrostatic and going to do hydrodynamic. Would you believe, Sally, we did hydrostatic back in April. We did hydrostatic back in April. And actually, now currently we are in simple harmonic motion in my theory class. And actually, it is also about to end now. We just started, but we can finish within like 3 weeks. තේරුණාද? කමක් නැහැ අඩුම ගානේ ඔයාලගේ at least your teacher is a good one because he has covered almost he has covered almost like rotational motion, circular motion and hydrostatic. He's a good one. He or she is a good one. But in some other students, they are only in energy. And some others are in Newton's laws of motion. I don't know what they are really planning to do. Mara aparadaya kenan karan. But your sir or teacher is a good one somehow. Tikak hari honda kenek. That means he or she just jumble up with the lessons. දෙකම එකට කරනවද මාරු කර කර. Then what? Then how can it be done? Hydrostatic. Done with the static. Then really good name. Done with the static means very good. Really good. Really nice to hear. At least there are really good teachers. Okay, 2 bullets are fired horizontally with different velocities from the same height. Which will reach the ground first? are fired horizontally with same height. Same. Imagine one is being fired from here, but the same height or from the same place, it doesn't matter. Different velocities from the same height, which will the count first. Slower one, faster one, cannot be said. Both will reach simultaneously. Depend on with the velocity of firing. Nothing does matter, only the height matter. Why? Time will only be mattered with vertical height. Can you remember? Horizontal velocity, whether it is zero, with the faster velocity, slow velocity, nothing does matter. Why? This one is faster, this one is slower. Nothing really does matter. What is the reason? Because horizontal motion and vertical motion are independent with each other. Okay? So, not the slow one, not the faster one. You can definitely say this one is wrong. Depend on with the velocity of firing, definitely not. Both will reach simultaneously. Is there anybody who can't understand why did I take that answer? If there is a one, please let me know. I will explain you everything. කාට හරි ඔබ තේරුම් නැත්නම් කියන්න ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් ෆයිල් පොඩ්ඩක් මතක් කරලා දෙන්න. Remind me ළමයි. Hello. Please ළමයි, remind me. I can remind you if you can just can't remember this one. Just tell me. I will definitely explain. Okay. Your time is over. Now I'm not going to explain. If a body moves with constant speed of circle. මේකත් theory හොඳට පුළුවන් කෙනෙක්ට තත්පර 5යි යන්නේ. Moves with a constant speed. Oh, shit. Oh, wait. These questions are here. That's why I messed up with. These questions are here. Two pieces of different metals when completely immersed in water. Different metals means different densities. Densities are D1 and D2. In my class now only D. There are no D1, D2. Completely immersed in water experience equal upthrust. Different pieces of metal. Okay. So sorry, different not different pieces. Pieces of different metals. Yeah, different metals in D1, D2. So experience the same equal upthrust. Both have the same weight in the air. No. We can't say like that. Upthrust is completely irrelevant of the weight. If you immerse a empty balloon, can be completely inflated, just a balloon with a volume of 10 cubic centimeter. And you immerse iron sphere of solid iron sphere of 10 cubic centimeter, both will experience the same upthrust force. Same upthrust because why? Upthrust is depending on with V rho G. V means the volume of the amount of fluid displaced. Rho means the density of the fluid. G means the gravity. So if the volume is same, only thing that determine the upthrust is going to be changing volume. Weight doesn't matter. Both have the same density. No, because why? The volume, we know one thing. Density equals to mass over volume. To be volume equal mass over density. So the same size of piece and the same density. Only the same size. It doesn't say about two pieces. They don't say about the sizes. So we can't predict that. It can be or cannot be. Both pieces have equal volume, definitely yes. This is the only part we won't consider because upthrust is only depending on with V, rho, G. Because rho is a constant one for certain liquid. This is a definitely constant. So only variable is the volume up or down. Accordingly, that upthrust may go up or down. Understand? Understand, Lamai? Lamai? Hello? Yeah. So this question is like actually 5 second question. 5 seconds. No more than 5 seconds. You have to see for the volume because different metals, it should be depending on with the volume. Only the if only the volume is same, you will get the same upthrust. So it is a 5 second question. You don't want to worry about other answers as well. Arne? Depth doesn't matter for the upthrust. Depth doesn't matter. අර Titan submarine එක වගේ කිලෝමීටර් දෙකක් යටට ගියා නිකම්ම ගිරුණා. එකයි අතන්දර. Depth doesn't matter. As long as the density of the water is same. Only for the pressure depth matters. Now here. Which of the following is the best representation of variation of which of the following graph best represents the variation of velocity v with time of t on an object being brought to rest by constant resultant force. What is about constant resultant force? We have like this thing F equals to ma. Resultant force is a constant one. Mass is also constant. So the acceleration is going to be F over m. It should be with the constant gradient. In a velocity time graph, deceleration of constant gradient is just this. All the other, this is like acceleration definitely no. This is a deceleration, but with increasing gradient. This one is like, sorry, decreasing gradient, increasing gradient. Answer is third one with a constant gradient. Okay. මේක නිකන් දකිද්දිම පේන්න ඕනේ 3 ආන්සර් එක කියලා. Now in the eighth one, if a body moves with constant speed in a circle, it experiences constant speed. Okay. හරි. Constant speed එකක් කියන්නේ ළමයි there is a velocity up here in a circle. It experiences both centripetal and centrifugal force. Yes, centripetal, centrifugal, both experience at the same time. No work is done on it. Definitely yes, because why? So displacement is going to be 0 when it come back. Centripetal force is proportional to the angular velocity of the above statements. Centripetal force is what? A C equals to M R omega square. Okay, this is what the angular velocity. Centripetal force F equals to, sorry, F is what? Omega to power 2. Omega to the power 2, not just omega. Okay, it is not omega, omega to power 2, not proportional. Force is proportional. Angular velocity of the, definitely proportional. It doesn't say about whether directly or not. Somehow it says about proportional. Yes, definitely proportional. So all the statements are true. Okay. Let me go for the 9th question and 10th question. In an elastic collision of two particles, which of the following are conserved? Okay, what is conserved here? In a collision of two particles, momentum of each particle. See? There are two particles here. M2 moving with V2, V1 and collide. During this collision, the collision can be elastic or inelastic. Elastic or inelastic, we don't know. If elastic only, energy conserved. But if it elastic, energy won't. But for momentum, in any case, any whether like elastic or inelastic, definitely momentum conserves. The total kinetic energy of both particles, right? Total kinetic energy means when it collides, the each particle and the both particles cancel. So in the total kinetic energy of the both particle can also be dissipated into some other forms of energy. This one now will definitely not. So only the answer A is correct. Momentum is the only one which definitely concerns. Now there are three vectors represented by the triangle here. Okay, we normally know when there is a vector triangle like this, we see like X, Y, and Z. What we take like, okay, X to Y, and this is like Z. Okay, we used to do it like this, Z equals to Y plus X, but this one is a different one. Why it is different, you will immediately see that. I will tell you why, not now. So you think this is the resultant, but I will say it is not the resultant what we are talking about. It is a resultant, you have to take it in some other way. හරිද? හොඳට බලන්න. Right. C equals to A plus B, definitely no, it is not addition. It is a subtraction. Why? This one and this one together forms this result. As I told you, can you remember in vector questions, we have to put the starting point and the finishing point. All the arrows left here, all the arrows reached here, the resultant is A, not C. Got it? So according to here, you can write A equals to vector B plus vector C. Understand? But there is no such an answer. එහෙම answer එකක් මේකේ කොහෙවත් නැහැ. So there are the answer like okay, C. Now let's try to subject C. C equals to A minus B. Definitely this answer is there. When you get C subjected, how you have to move this to there. A minus B. That is there. හරි නේද? හරි නේද ළමයි? Hello. ඔක පොඩ්ඩක් හිතන්න ඕන ප්‍රශ්නයක්. Understood or not? Because I know that for many students, vectors going to be like really they are nightmare. So if you understand, let me know. If you don't understand, also let me know. Understood. Very good. Great. Okay. Let's go for the next 5 questions then. මේ මොනයිනේ? Wait. I have to tell you one thing. How to get the answer on the spot. To get any answer in a vector question, mark all the arrows, leave S, and mark all the points reached there. Once you identify these two, you will immediately get the longest path is the addition of these two vectors going to be the final vector of one arrow, right? No, here you don't want to do like parallelogram theory. It's going to be even complicated when you apply parallelogram to here. Parallelogram makes it complicated. There are 5 MCQs only. Window MCQ part are done. Mhm. හරි මේ questions වලට මම විනාඩි 2 ගානකට හම්බෙන්න දෙන්නම් because all of these questions are kind of tougher ones පොඩ්ඩක් විතර tough නේ okay ළමයි 10 minutes නේ let's start let's begin come on hi ළමයි hello hello ළමයි hi can you hear me can you hear me right let's discuss the displacement s with time displacement s with time on an object shown in the figure which of the following graph best fit for the velocity of the object with time t okay in the first one you can see it is like a what linear axis so you know that in the displacement graph time graph there is a line like this it represents the uniform velocity uniform velocity means it should definitely be this line or this line right this line or this line uniform velocity here in the next one you can see definitely it has stopped velocity zero means what velocity zero means so displacement is zero displacement doesn't change that means velocity is zero zero velocity represented by this one answer is fourth one it's not a really difficult one even though it may appear to be like a different it's not difficult at all right now this one I will tell you some simple techniques before let's do the hard method real method given three masses are connected as shown in the diagram if the coefficient of kinetic friction between the mass m2 this one is the only one in contact that is the only one getting friction and the table is mu what would the upward acceleration of the small mass m3 මෙහෙට accelerate with මෙහා downward that's the same acceleration of the body as a mass the mass and friction of the cord and pulley are the small enough to produce negligible effect on the system. Mass is not, then the friction is not on the pulley. Right. Now you can see this one is the greatest force. M1T is the greater force, and the tension here, yeah, the same tension applies to here. And this one is a different tension because there is a friction here. Due to that reason, it is a different friction, T2. Right. Now, when you consider about the middle object, you can see T2 is there, T1 is there. Which force is the greatest? Because the acceleration is to the leftward, definitely T1 minus T2 is going to be the resultant force for this one. Okay, I will have to apply that for each and individual object, right? So, and also the friction to there, minus friction. Friction is the resultant force. M2A equals to T2 minus T1 minus mu M2G. Equation number 1 I can write in the regular way. And the next one here for the M1 object, M1G is definitely greater than of T1. M1G minus T1 equals to M1A. Equation number 2. And in the very next one, for here, T2 is upward and M3G is downward. So the acceleration we can write it like what? T2 minus M3G equals to M3A. So I'd better obtain T1 from this equation. T1 is what? M1A plus M1B. Equation number 2 dash. Here, T2 equals to M3A plus M3G. This is third equation dash. What can I do? Second equation dash and third equation dash into the first equation. So now it is going to be like what? M2A equals to M1A plus M1G. Sorry, I made a big mistake here. T2. M3A plus M3G minus M1A plus M2G. It is like again minus mu M2G. Right. You have A things and you have G things. So you have to get all the A things together. Okay. M2A minus M3A. Here like plus M2A equals to, in the right hand side, M3G plus M2G minus mu M2G. What you want to get is A equals to M3G plus M2G minus mu M2J over what? Here M2 minus M3 plus M2. Okay, this is how you get all the answer for that. Would you understand? ගත්ත විදිය තේරුණාද? Oh shit, I made a big mistake here. 1 minute, 1 minute. Here I made a mistake. This minus T1. What is T1? T1, T1, T1 I obtained from this one. This is M. This part is going to be also negative because the common negative answer comes to here. It's also negative. 2 minus A minus A. Right. M3G minus M2G. Okay. close the bracket. This is the answer it's going to be. මේ අවුලක් තියෙනවා ඔය. ඔය හරි මේ පොඩි mistake එකක් වෙලා. Okay. කොහේ හරි plus minus පැටලිලා තියෙනවා මේ කොහේ හරි දැනක. Can't find out it right now. But I will tell you an easy way to get this. මේ ඔයාගේ පැටලින් වෙන්නේ නැතුව ගන්න ක්‍රමයක් තියෙනවා. Firstly, you should know one thing. F equals to ma for the whole system. Neda? Whole system get accelerated because of what? The resultant force. Isn't that? Firstly, let's try to find out the resultant force. Right? Make a patagala in one second. So if you draw the whole three objects, the whole mass is under the acceleration. Whole mass is under the acceleration. So I can consider all these three masses as one bigger object. Get accelerated because of the resultant force provided. Okay. All the driving force is what? What is the driving force of the whole system? What is the driving force of the whole system? Can you tell me what is the driving force? මෙන්න මේ ක්‍රමය මතක තියාගන්න හරි ලේසි. Equation number 1, 2, 3 එහෙම දාන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. What is the driving force? ළමයි එක engine එකයි තියෙන්නේ. කෝච්චියක් තියෙනවා කියන්නේ. All the compartments and all the friction, everything controlled by the force provided by the engine. Like here, there is only one driving force. Yes, this one. This is what the driving force. So resultant force is what? Driving force of what? M1G minus friction is going to be a resistive force. Mu M2G is a resistive force. And this is also a resistive force. What is it? This one is M3G. M3G. ඕක තේරෙන්න. මේක තේරුණාද ගත්ත විදිය? මොකද මෙයාට දෙන්න පුළුවන් friction විතරයි. Now, okay, this was the resultant force MA. M is like, M is never going to get subtracted. මට ඒකයි බැලුවේ අර මොකද subtract වුනේ කියලා. M1, M2, M3, all the mass is going to get applied. M1 plus M2 plus M3 ඔය තුන් දෙනාම එකට accelerate වෙනවා. A equals to what? M1 minus mu M2 minus M3 times G. Right. Acceleration is what? M minus mu M2 minus M3 over M1 plus M2 plus M3 times G. M1 minus mu M2 plus M3. This is what the answer. මෙන්න මේ ක්‍රමයට යද්දි ළමයි you can do within 1 minute. මම මේක explain කරන්නත් එක්ක වෙලාව ගත්තනේ. So, can you identify the MCQ technique for any pulley system, whatever the thing? Firstly, you have to solve these type of questions. First tip is find who the heck is the driver. Who is the driver? හරි නේද? කවුද driver කියලා හොයාගන්න. driver හොයාගත්ත ගමන් ඉතුරු set එකම හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. තේරුණානේ? තේරුණාද ළමයි? yes. නෑ මේක මේ හදාගෙන යනකොට දැන් පේනවනේ මම කොච්චර experience තිබුණා. මේ කොහේ හරි decimal කියන්නේ negative එක answer එකක් කොහේ හරි මිස් වුණා. I missed the negative by somewhere. මෙන්න මේ ප්ලස් වෙන්න ඕන තැනක් මයිනස් තුනක්. එච්චරයි මෙතන අවුල් තියෙන්නේ. මේකෙදි වරදින්නම නැහැ. තනි පේලි දෙකයි ලියලා තියෙන්නේ. how many lines I wrote. මේකත් මම ලියුවා ඔයාලට එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරන්නනේ. මේක ලියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ ළමයි. ඔළුවක් තියෙන ළමෙක් දන්නවා F equals m. රිසල්ටන්ට් මේක ලියන්නත් ඕනේ නැහැ. මේක කෙලින්ම ලියුවා. මම ලියන්නේ කොහොමද දන්නවද? මම කරා නම් ලියන්නේ m1g minus mu m2g minus m3g equals to m1 plus m2 plus m3a. A equals to ටක් ගාලා මෙයාව ගන්නවා m1 minus mu m2 minus m3 times g over m1 m2 m3 එක ලියන්නෙත් නැහැ. ලියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ නේ. යටට ඒ දෙකම එන්න ඕන එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Which one? Only like three answers there. ඒ හතරෙන් එකක්. So now check. Mu should include inside the bracket. This one can be removed. This one can be removed. This one is the answer. අපෝ මට නම් විනාඩියක්වත් යන්නේ. තේරුණානේ? Can you identify the shortcut method? Hari. A mass m is attached to a spring is rotating in a circular circle on a smooth table of a radius r with the velocity of v. The spring constant is like k. And the extension is like x. The net force on the mass. Hari. Extend vela. A mass is attached to a spring rotational motion r with velocity and the constant is k and extension is x. Net force. Have a good look. So this one will get extended like this because of the centripetal force. And this one will provide what? Tension in the spring force here. How to get the tension here? Kx. How to get the centripetal force? mv square over. So for the resultant, this one goes out, this one goes in. Circular track means these two are going to get balanced. Edena balance. Mass m is attached to. Okay, it is going to be like mv square over is the outside minus kx. That should be 0. Answer is this one. Actually. Now the 14th one. The figure shows velocity time graph for particle which is start from rest and move along x direction. According to the graph, the direction of motion of particle changes t equals to t1 only. It says it change the direction at this point. කියලාම තියෙනවා. ඒක හරියද? No. At this point also changes, right? Moved in the positive direction. Yeah. Now in the declination came to 0. Now started in the negative direction and moved along. Right? Now here, is this changing direction? Definitely no. It is actually changed the direction in not in T1. Actual thing is T2, not in T1. Changes that wrong. It is actually changing in T2 because still in the positive direction. This one is in the negative direction. This point is the turning point. Ask me. If you can't understand why T2, just ask me. Ask me. හරිද? why T2 කියලා තේරෙන්නේ නැත්නම් අහන්න. හැමෝටම තේරුණාද ඒක? Did everybody understood that? ළමයි, hello. Got it. Okay, great. The particle does not return to its original position at time of equals to t equals to 3. නෑ. කවුද කියන්නේ original position එකට ආව කියලා? මේක velocity time graph එකක්. Velocity in a velocity time graph, it will only come back to original position if the positive area positive area and the negative area, because area under the graph is the positive displacement and this is the negative displacement, then only these two cancel out with each other. Here, definitely no. If this is a displacement type graph, it is yes. It is also wrong. It says like does not name. Sorry, does not. Does not means definitely yes. The particle accelerates only during the time interval of 0 to t1. Here see, accelerates in 0 to t1. Yes, this one is deceleration, but remember that if this one is an acceleration in the negative direction, this one is a deceleration in the negative direction. So your answer is completely wrong here. T3 to this time is also what? T2 to this time is acceleration as well. This is like a dropping a ball. See, it but increase, decrease, right? Increase, decrease. So it's wrong. So here the answer is like only B is correct. Last one. A block of mass M1 on top of block of mass M2 මේකත් හරි ලේසියෙන් ගන්න පුළුවන්. නිකන් total දදා හදද්දී එපා වෙයි. The lower block of horizontal surface has a rope can pull the horizontally on the lower block. The coefficient of dynamic friction between all surfaces is mu. What is the resulting acceleration of the lower block if the force is applied to the rope? Assume that F is sufficiently large to top block, slip on the lower block. Okay, assume that F is sufficiently large. මේ දෙන්න slip වෙනවා දැන්. F අදිද්දී මු මෙහෙම slip වෙලා යන case එකක් තියෙනවා. Right. M1 is top and the rope can pull the horizontal lower block and the coefficient of dynamic friction is mu. What is the resulting acceleration of the block of the force of weight applied to the rope? Okay. How to get it? F equals to mv. Right? F equals to mv. So what about the total force now? For the bottom one, you apply all the force masses are going to apply there. So M1 plus M2 both will have to get accelerated. Driving force driving force is F only, but not all F because there is a friction below here. Right? That friction will hold it. So how to get that friction? Mu M1 plus M2 G is the force. Mu M1 plus M2 G is the force. Now the resultant force, you have to put the resultant force. What is the resultant force? F minus mu M1 plus M2 G equals to M1 plus M2 A. Sorry. මේ උඩ එකකින් එන friction එක ගන්න බෑ. Why? If it was hold like this, we have to consider because this is on the same set, same object, so it won't apply any friction on it. හරිනේ? ඒතර එයාගෙන් එන friction එක ස්ලයිඩ් වෙලා ගියාට ගන්න බෑ. ආන්සර්ස් වල පොඩි අවුලක් තියෙනවා මේකේ. ආන්සර් එකක්වත් නැහැනේ. යලි වෙන්න. Definitely not only M2. Because why? Only M2 is definitely not. The reason is both the forces are going to get cancelled off with each other. මේ දෙන්නව මේකට apply කරන්න ඕනේ. Sorry. I made a big mistake here. Because only M2, because this one doesn't get accelerated. It is slipping. I didn't sleep. Because the block slips. That one doesn't get accelerated. So only M2. Which chance is telling now? This one. Right? මේ ජීව මෙතෙන්ට දාගත්තා නම් හරි. හරි නේද? Can you understand? Because this one slips. Slip means only the M2 block get accelerated. This one doesn't. Only this one get accelerated. So answer is this one. Can you understand the way how I obtain that answer? For getting whatever the answer, you have to firstly identify what is the driving force, what is God driven. Here, this one doesn't get driven. Only the bottom one get driven. What is the driving force? What is getting driven? And find out the resultant forces and apply. Can you understand? Okay. Shall we get an interval and quickly come back? හරි. මට කියන්න ඔයාලගේ 15 කීයක් හරිද කියලා. හැමෝම කියන්නක් ගාලා බලන්න. මම මාක්ස් විතරයි දාන්නේ මෙතෙන්ට. ඉන්ටර්වල් එක ගන්න කලින් කියලා යන්න. Okay, 12. Okay. Wow. 13. Okay. Others. ටක් ගාලා කියන්න තමන්ගේ ආපු answers ටික. ළමයි. මම කරන්නකෝ. Let me know your answers. කීයක් ආවද කියලා. Okay. 10 MCQs yet. Okay. 10 MCQs. තව. කියන්න ළමයි. තව ඉන්නවා ළමයි මෙතන. 4 දෙනයි කිව්වේ. ළමයි. I need answers. There are 3 more. කියන්න කීයද ආවේ? බලන්න ලකුණු කීයක් ආවද කියන්නකෝ. ළමයි how many marks you got? So I got like 12, 13 and 10. ළමයි ඔයාලා උත්තර ටයිම් එක වේස්ට් කරන්න ඇයි ළමයි ඔයාලගේ මේ ඉන්ට්‍රෝවර්ට් ඉස්සුව නිසා මේ වැඩ කරන ළමයින්ගේ ටයිම් එක නැතු යනවා. 10. තව ඉන්නවා දෙන්න. සබ් දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා බිල්ලෝ වගේ. ටක් ගාලා කියන්න. මම හිතන්නේ මේ කියනකොට ඉන්ටර්වල් ගණන් ගන්න ඉන්නද කොහෙද? නෑ. වෙන්න බෑ. අකීලා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් එහෙම යන්නේ නෑ. අකීලා, what is your marks? අකීලා, tell me your marks. Sorry. So Sahas and Devmini are satisfiable level. Others තවම පොඩ්ඩක් මදියා. මේ දෙන්න මට පොඩ්ඩක් satisfiable level එකක ඉන්නවා. කට්ටිය පොඩ්ඩක් මදි. So you will have to improve. Actually, 10 out of the 15 mean you got like what? 66%, 67%. මදි නේද එමුණා? 67 කියන්නේ හොඳයි නැත්තේ නෑ මේවා අමාරු ප්‍රශ්න. ඒත් 85% වලින් එහාට වගේ දාගන්න පුළුවන් නම් හොඳයි. This guy is in that level. හරි. ඉන්ටර්වල් එකක් ගන්න. ඉන්න මම කියනකම් ටයිම් එක දානකම් ඉන්න නැත්නම් ඔයාලා දැම්මම ගියොත් දන්නේ නැතුවනේ යන්නේ. I will give you like 15 minutes from here. ඒ විනාඩි 15 අරගෙන ඉතින් සීල් වෙන්න. 15 minutes interval. Have your interval. Enjoy your. Hi, ළමයි ඔයාලා ඉන්නවද ආවද? Let me know quickly whether you are there. ඇවිල්ලාද ඉන්නේ? ළමයි. ළමයි මේ ඔයාලගේ ඉන්ට්‍රෝවර්ට් කම් ටික ගෙවල් වල තියාගන්න. මෙතනදී ක්ලාස් එකේදී පොඩ්ඩක් කතා කරන්න මෙසේජ් එකක් දාන්න. උඩට පරියම්බර ඉන්න එපා. හැමෝටම වාඩිවෙන්න ඒක. නේ? ළමයි hello. Okay, right here. Yeah. Shall we start the next question? Hari. Parallelogram apparatus. Shall we start this parallelogram thing quickly? Structure question is normally like 15 minutes. I would gladly give you whole 15 minutes. Come on, man. Parallelogram එක පොඩ්ඩක් theory එක අමාරුයිනේ. In the whole, I will give you like whole 15 minutes. Okay? ළමයි. I'm going to start the timer. I hope that you everybody there. Do this question. You have like 15 minutes from now. Your timer starts. Your time is. Are you there? ළමයි, hello. ඔයාලා ඉන්නවද මෙතන? Yeah, great. කරගන්න පුළුවන් වුණාද? දැන් parallelogram principle එක මතකද? Can you remember the parallelogram principle after all? First of all, you are provided with parallelogram law apparatus, three identical scale pans and box of masses and light fabric, elastic spring. Spring is there. Apart from pan and the stuff, I just we can adapt the loads like this here on the pan here. And so by drawing above diagram how the system comes to equilibrium if you place three equal masses of three scale pans. Okay. It is like this. This is how you have to represent it. Uh, Drawing above diagram say that ppm matches and the student plans to determine the mass of a stone using a parallelogram blow apparatus. Which are the other items you may need in addition to those provided above? You may need pins, right? Because why? We have to stick one paper on here. We have to stick a one paper on here. Okay, it is like here. We have to stick a paper using one pins. And a mirror, plain mirror strips, mirror strips, and uh, yeah, pencil to mark this. You have to hold the mirror strip like this. Mark these 2 points. And what? Protractor and compass. You need these things. And a ruler. The student uses the shadow of the string on the mark on the position of the string on the paper. What is your opinion to do this about this? He's just about to use the shadow, right? Bad move. Because why? Bad option. Because shadow might not be aligned because the angle of incident light might be different. Write down the main step by taking the position of the string marked on the paper using a plane mirror. Keep the plane mirror. Keep the plane mirror just below the string on each side of around middle point. Middle point means this one. On the paper and mark by pencil. What step you take to show the friction of the pulley are negligible? Firstly, sorry, mark the initial position, mark the initial position of joint and pull the string and release and release. If it come back to original position, what about it? Friction is negligible. Friction is negligible. That means you have to pull this from here. If it is again comes back to this position, that means friction is negligible. Why it is important to use strings with negligible mass on this experiment? Because the mass of the string may vary the result as it adds up its own weight on the equilibrium. A student suggests that it is better to fix the paper on top of the board once the system comes to equilibrium rather than placing mass. The student suggests that it is better to fix the paper on the board uh, once the system comes to equilibrium rather than placing masses. Uh, what is the advantage of this? Right. That means better to fix the paper on the board once the system comes to equilibrium rather than before placing the masses. Why? Because it won't what? Change the equilibrium of the system while placing the what uh, board. If we try to slip the board between this, and it will change the equilibrium, and this will begin to oscillate. But if you place the stuff before, you only need to take the readings now. You are not just going to fix these things again. It is easy to handle. Now, when you select the scale, draw the parallelogram, what are the factors you may concern? Right? That means you have to uh, right, wait per certain given length that does not exceed the maximum length. Imagine if you take like 3 centimeters for 1 Newton. Okay, if you take this, all of a sudden you may draw one line uh, which has to draw like uh, 5 centimeters. But unfortunately, this one has only 3.5 centimeters left. So it shouldn't, the biggest force shouldn't exceed the paper. That is the most convenient thing you have to think about. Now the two weights of 10 Newton, 8 Newton are placed into scale pans apparatus, and the unknown mass is placed on the scale pan. Once the parallelogram is constructed, it was found the angle corresponding to the string of two scale pans on either side of 105 determine the mass of the stone. What does it say? The 10 Newton for one, the other one is like uh, 8 Newton. Each scale bands and apparatus and unknown mass is placed on. Once the parallelogram is constructed, it was found that the angles corresponding to the string of two scale pans side is what 105, right? Determine the mass of the stone. Sorry, may side digging. Sorry, either side. 105. This side is also 105. Right. To determine the mass of the string. So what can I do now? I have to construct the parallelogram. Hmm. What about this one? 105. This one is like again If you split this one to there, it's one part is going to be like 210, 360 minus 210, 150. One angle is going to be like what? 75 degree. One of these angles is going to be like 75, 75 each. And you make the parallelogram now with the resultant. Okay. One of these sides, you have to take it like sine 15 equals to this much. Ninety plus 75 is like 165. This angle is going to be like what? 15 degree then. This angle is going to be like 15 degree then. When you take it perpendicularly, side is so this 15. This is the hypotenuse. If I consider one of these sides, I am going to consider it like 12 Newton for this side. Sorry, 10 Newton. Here like 15 degree. And the hypotenuse is the resultant force here. What about the hypotenuse? I will put like the resultant force. Sine 15 is equals to 12 over h. H equals to 12 over 15. 15 is given like this. So you have to leave the answer like 12 over 0.2588. This is like a horrible division. Let's try to find it out. If you don't remember the vector parallelogram theory, this question is going to be like really horrible. If you remember, it doesn't matter. If you don't understand, let me know. I will add this to the theory class tunes and give you some questions. And let's discuss in the theory class with revising the theory. මේ දේවල් ටික theory class එකේදී මම පොඩ්ඩක් revise කරලා දෙන්නම් නා. මතක නැත්නම්. 2588. It is like some 46 grams, no? 46 Newton. 46 Newton, they ask the mass. So you have to divide by 10. It is like 4. Yeah, 4.6 kg. 4.6 kg. Can you understand that? Parallelogram එකේ theory මතක නැද්ද? If you have forgotten the theory part, we have to go for right from the beginning. Theory part එක මතක නැද්ද ඔයාලට? මතක් කරලා දෙන්න ඕනේද? මම කොහොමත් මේක ආමේ if you have forgotten the theory part, I am going to start the vector parallelogram theory soon in 2025 batch. Right? So I'm going to demonstrate this in a practical as well. So in a practical, I am going to explain everything slowly. Now, this is the theory revision, rapid revision paper class. So I don't have much time to explain everything here. So if you have any doubt, you can join to my class for free on that day. ඔයාලට මම access දෙන්න. ඕන කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් කියන්න. කොහොමත් තව 2 to 3 weeks, within like 2 to 3 weeks, I will be doing this in 2025
regular theory class, if you need to cover this lesson up, you may join for that day. හරි නේද? theory on නම් මේක පුළුවන් නම් කිසි අවුලක් නැහැ. මට හිතෙන්නේ නම් මේ theory එක ගොඩ දිනෙකට අමතක කරලා ඇති කියලා. Okay. Now there are more questions here. Have a good look at in the essay questions. I said like to stop here because beyond this point, we didn't do in the class about this heat and how the waves travel with the temperature. These things we didn't discuss. So I include this question for your home reference. You will see this type of questions will come and you have to get rid of. Today is Asia Cup final, so try this. බලන්න මේ අපේ කට්ටිය කැටි හුවෙත් නෑ පොළුමයි කියවල දෙන්න. ඒ ගැන හිතන්න එපා. Okay. So you may try these things at home. හරි? කරලා මට දාන්න answers. ඉර වෙලා දැන් තියෙනවා නම් කියන්න. Okay. In a paper class like 2.5 hours, we can't discuss all because if you do the question and if we are going to finish this paper alone, this may need at least like another 1 hour. එහෙම කරන්න බෑනේ practically. So it is nearly 3 hours now. 2 hours and 42 seconds. Minutes gone. Okay. Let's wind up the class for today. Shall we wind up? Fine. Hello. Okay. Bye then. God bless you. Bye, God bless you.